If you're guilty of massive amounts of misinformation and disinformation as a part of a propaganda campaign.
Attorney General Pam Bondi has directed federal prosecutors to launch a grand jury investigation into members of the Obama administration over the 2016 Russia investigation.
A lot of them are guilty of it.
Yeah.
A lot of the people that are in that White House press conference, a lot of the organizations they work for, distributed absolute lies.
Total lies.
Tulsi Gabbard declassified documents that she says shows Obama administration officials manufactured intelligence to make it look like Russia interfered in the 2016 election.
How many of them during the whole Russiagate thing?
A lot of people think that the Russia thing is real.
Yeah,
Still. I mean, the whole Steele dossier where it was like completely concocted.
Funded by the Clinton campaign.
First, rumors continue to escalate for the Obamas. Hopefully they can settle it like men.
Recently, one of modern politics' most carefully crafted legacies became the target of two of the media's most incisive commentators who dismantled its polished surface with precision. Rather than just scratching the surface, Joe Rogan and Greg Gutfeld laid bare the deep cracks beneath, leaving no pretense untouched. What unfolded was less a measured critique and more a relentless takedown, where charisma met stark reality, and the carefully built myth could not withstand the force of unfiltered truth.
Go full screen.
What you know now, do you wish you had a third term? You know what? If I could make an arrangement where I had a stand-in, a front man or front woman, and they had an earpiece in, and I was just in my basement in my sweats looking through the stuff, and then I could sort of deliver the lines, but somebody else was doing all the talking and ceremony, I'd be fine with that.
We know he wasn't really running the country. Yeah. We used to think he was actually running the country. Now they're like, no, he didn't even see those executive orders. That was all.
Where are you? The high ground maneuver of common sense has relegated it into more extreme measures. Ask Obama, okay, where do I apply this courage? You know, what space do I park it in? Should I double down on trans dudes in women's sports? Should I back the attacks on ICE? Should I show courage?
Over the course of his political journey, Barack Obama has worn many faces: the hopeful change maker, the teleprompter maestro, the effortless charmer. For a leader capable of signing laws that often read like corporate wish lists, even a simple yes could sound like a call to revolution. Greg Gutfeld and Joe Rogan aren't here to hand out polite applause. Their aim is to strip away the layers of branding that have turned Obama into a collectible political icon, the kind of flashy figure you keep in its box, claiming it still holds value. Once all the gloss and production are gone, the reality looks less like Camelot and more like a late-night commercial for charm.
Water. This is not right. He gets a glass of Flint tap water. I swear to God, he drinks it like this.
Can I get some water? I really didn't need a glass of water. This is not a stunt.
Usually when somebody gets in a stunt, you have to say
It's
that.
100% a stunt. He's old.
Is Obama gay? Needing attention over an old letter. What? I should read that again. Anyway, no, we'll just keep going. The New York Post obtained a redacted portion of a handwritten letter the former president sent to his then college girlfriend, Alex McNear. Alex, eh? Back in 1982. He talked about his, quote, androgynous mind and wrote, and I'm quoting Obama here, I make love to men daily, but in the
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the bell and subscribe to the channel. Obama's entire presidency felt like a carefully staged Netflix series, complete with flawless camera angles, perfectly timed pauses, and cliffhangers that led nowhere. It's the political version of one of those online mystery boxes, Rogan explained. You open it hoping for a prize, only to find a few coasters, a keychain, and a thank you note for your enthusiasm. Greg Gutfeld added that despite the long TED-style presentations with impressive visuals, the audience left with homework instead of any real results.
They're throwing around the word treason.
I hate to say this, but President Barack Obama, there's now incontrovertible evidence that he was the spearhead of a seditious conspiracy to subvert the will of the American people and overthrow the United States government back in 2016.
They're saying that Obama knew that Russia did not meddle in the election.
Obama turned 8 years of average performance into something resembling a magic act. Even if a real drone strike occurred elsewhere, the media would still frame his 40-minute speech on unity as measured leadership. Rogan points out the irony clearly. Obama received the Nobel Peace Prize before most people earned their first paycheck, yet during his time in office, he authorized enough military actions to make the accolade feel almost hollow. According to Gutfeld, his speeches often seemed aimed at a book club that never read the book, a detail that only deepens the disconnect.
Endorse Biden. I'm sold.
Are you?
Oh, yeah. He's fine now. Once Obama endorsed him, now he can't remember anything. Did you see what Donald Trump Jr. tweeted?
No.
Or he put it on Instagram that Biden is like a web browser? It's a hilarious meme.
Then there's the idea that Obama somehow rose above Washington's empty politics. Just as Rogan laughs at the thought of Bigfoot shopping at Walmart, he finds this notion equally amusing. His legacy was carefully crafted through image and optics, tan suits, late-night TV appearances, even brackets for March Madness. Gutfeld compares it to a magician who steals your wallet while dazzling you with glittering props. While America debated his Spotify playlists, the wheels of Washington kept churning out the same old swampy problems.
Ended conversations with Tulsi Gabbard about what it was like.
It's a disservice to the American people that former President Obama's office and others who are criticizing the transparency that is being delivered by releasing these documents. They are doing a disservice to the American people and trying to deflect away from their culpability in what is a historic scandal.
She's a person. She tries to be friends with everybody. Tries to reach across the aisle.
Obama's post-presidential life only added to the amusement. Rather than retiring as a respected elder statesman, he became the political version of a Netflix executive producer, taking money, lending his name to projects, and occasionally giving speeches that sounded strikingly similar to ones from a decade earlier. It's also clear that his rise wasn't driven by intelligence alone. Rogan notes that much of Obama's appeal came from his presentation, the perfect pause that made even the obvious sound profound, the clean lines, and the cadence of his voice. Even a topic as dull as a losing sports season could feel compelling in his delivery. Gutfeld adds that half the country might insist on putting cough syrup in the Constitution if Obama simply explained its dangers with the right pitch.
People age the hardest. I think Obama was probably like a very idealistic young man
Oh, Lord, what's going on now? Who's hollering? I can't even see it.
who really wanted to change the world. And that dude aged more than anybody.
I mean, I'm getting old, so I can't hear that well. I can't see that good.
Who aged the least? Trump. Trump just
This is something that
just brushed that shit off his shoulders like it was nothing.
We knock on wood wherever we may have wood, that I'm in very good health. I just won 2 club championships, not even senior, 2 regular club championships. To do that, quite smart, and you have to be able to hit the ball a long way.
I don't know if I trust Trump. His hair's not getting gray. What kind of politician doesn't get gray hair?
He doesn't do it. He can't hit a ball 50 yards. He challenged me to a golf match. He can't hit a ball 50 yards.
He makes fun of his own hair. He was on stage talking about his comb.
But the real punch comes when they expose the gap between Obama's personal brand and the actual results. Behind the scenes, government agencies quietly shredded documents that were supposed to reflect transparency. Gutfeld observes that crises were often turned into background music for a coffee commercial rather than occasions for outrage. Then there's the industry of Obama admiration, the nostalgia reels, documentaries, and novels. Rogan laughs at the way slow-motion footage of him walking the White House grounds has been used to cover every political setback over the past decade. Gutfeld adds, "It's like the nation has a toxic relationship with its own history. Even amid disappointments, broken promises, and subtle jabs, the holiday photos remain picture perfect." Just when it seems they've examined every angle, Rogan and Gutfeld turn their attention to the carefully timed political cameos. Obama rarely comments on politics, but when he does, it's with the precision you'd expect from someone constantly managing their public image.
The answer to that statement can very clearly be found throughout all of the documents that we have released, showing that Russia has took action to try to sow discord in the election, but showed no preference for or against any singular candidate.
And she was like, it's crazy. The amount of backstabbing that's going on.
That's a very disrespectful attack on the American people who deserve the truth. They deserve to have faith and trust in the integrity of our democratic republic, which has been undermined by President Obama through his direction of this manufactured fake intelligence document, knowing that it was filled with lies.
Like when she got into office, you realize like you're not really in control of everything because there's another person who's in control of each individual department, and they'll stop whatever you're trying to do every step of the way. They get in the way of everything. What are you gonna
Rogan compares it to a retired boxer returning for exhibition matches against opponents who haven't trained much. Gutfeld likens it to a celebrity chef dropping by just to garnish a dish someone else cooked. They also examine the cult of personality. Rogan points out that people act as if Obama invented sunlight, twisting their thinking to defend every decision. Gutfeld adds that this isn't politics, it's brand loyalty. Buying everything in the store simply because the label inspires confidence, even when the product falls short. What makes their critique so sharp is that neither claims Obama was truly terrible. As the saying goes, he mastered looking impressive while doing the same work as everyone else in Washington. Trillions of dollars were on display in this performance. And when someone nearby is trying to sell your furniture, it's easy to feel like magic is involved. They note that Obama's legacy is often praised in contrast to the chaos that followed. But Rogan warns, this is a false comfort. Being the least disastrous among a string of failures is hardly praise. It's like winning a pie-eating contest with all the pies spoiled. Gutfeld adds that the nostalgia surrounding Obama reflects declining standards more than genuine greatness.
We must, absolutely must, hold every one of these criminals accountable for the crimes that they committed. They are the most heinous crimes committed in American history.
But yet promoted this idea.
James Comey, John Brennan, Clapper, Rice, Biden was in the meeting. They briefed Barack Obama on Hillary Clinton's plan to, quote, tie Trump to Russia collusion lies. It consumed our national discourse for 5 years.
And then there's been some incredible clips of all these different news reporters, CNN and MSNBC, just saying over and over and over again, clear evidence.
By the end, Rogan has thoroughly punctured Obama's reputation. The images and the myth have crumbled. He was a master at convincing people that change was happening while quietly keeping the system running as before. There's nothing quite like that bait and switch. It's ironic that half the nation still feels treated fairly. The harshest part of the roast may be realizing that Obama's legacy is defined more by how skillfully he persuaded people he was achieving his goals than by what he actually accomplished. He played the lead role in this political drama, yet the intrigue fades when you see the plot never truly advanced. Much like a long-running series, Rogan and Gutfeld aren't angry about it. Their mission is simply to show the strings behind the performance. Obama's story isn't primarily about hope or transformation. It's about presentation, the perfectly tailored suit, the flawless delivery, the image of a leader who could unify a divided nation. For some, that may have been enough. For Rogan and Gutfeld, it's the perfect stage for a roast that reveals the truth hiding behind the carefully polished image.
They gave that speech when he gave a speech on television, and everybody was like, fuck this. And then they kind of just went away.
It was one of the most beautiful moments in modern American history. People really actually stood up and stopped a war from happening. Today, I authorize the armed forces of the United States to begin a limited military action in Libya in support of an international effort to protect.
Meanwhile, Joe Rogan makes jokes that even his MMA guests find funny, all while Obama seems preoccupied with curating his next playlist as if it's the most urgent matter in the world. Rogan argues that Obama has a talent for turning every scandal into a TED-style presentation, a long, intricate discussion filled with dramatic pauses that make it hard to recall the original question. Like a magician, he uses gestures to draw attention, but instead of revealing a trick, he tells stories from his youth in Hawaii, framing them as lessons in leadership. Greg Gutfeld seizes on Obama's obsession with being the coolest person in the room. It isn't about intelligence, competence, or even style, because when you can rock a bomber jacket, drop a Jay-Z reference, and have the media react as if they're witnessing a real-life superhero, why bother with concrete policy wins? Gutfeld captures it perfectly. It's like open mic night at a national security briefing where Obama waits for applause before finishing his presentation. Rogan isn't done either. He points out that Obama's Instagram is essentially a carefully managed political persona. Perfect lighting, thoughtfully chosen captions, and no messy glimpses of real life to spoil the picture. Every post reinforces the image rather than revealing the person behind it.
Obama said he was a jackass.
The young lady seems like a perfectly nice person. She's getting her award. What's he doing up there? He's a jack.
It's like, oh, really? Well, you.
It's like the Taylor Swift thing.
Now, all this stuff
That guy's a jack. It wasn't even that harsh of an incident. He said it privately, and I think somebody heard it. I don't think he said it to be public.
I'm assuming all this stuff. Where's the pool? Come on, guys. Cut the president some slack.
Oh, here it is.
Seems like a perfectly nice person. He's getting her a award.
Why would he do that?
He's a jerk. No. All this stuff.
Because the man could be selling disaster and people would buy it like it's the latest gadget, just as long as he delivers it in that calm, composed style. When Obama declares that the ceiling is collapsing, his supporters might respond with, "Wow, that's so inspiring." According to Gutfeld, Obama functioned more as a political lifestyle brand than a true trailblazer. Many confuse eloquence with genuine answers, polished speeches, and perfectly staged photo ops. It's like a celebrity chef talking endlessly about their love of food while never actually cooking anything featured on magazine covers. Rogan adds, with a wink, that Obama's Netflix deal says it all. For 8 years after promising change, he spent his post-presidential time producing documentaries about how hard change can be. It's like watching a former athlete show a highlight reel while explaining why they never won a championship. Pure style, no scoreboard.
Government pays for a website devoted to a folk music ensemble made up of forest rangers. They're called the Fiddlin' Foresters. I'll put their music on my iPod, but I'm not paying for their website.
Kennedy, just watching that now, so that was 2011. Him and Trump are saying exactly the same thing, but he's not saying it. He wasn't having fun with it.
It's like, even the name of it, he was like, I'm working.
Without missing a beat, Gutfeld rips into the endless stream of justifications that seem to follow every decision of Obama's presidency. Every misstep, missed opportunity, or broken promise was attributed to someone else's fault or dismissed as too complicated. He likens it to a man blaming traffic for being late to every meeting over an 8-year stretch. Suddenly, the notion of unluckiness disappears. You're just watching a failure of planning dressed up as circumstance. Rogan lands the knockout. Obama may leave behind little more than a masterclass in using charisma as a weapon rather than a genuine legacy of political reform. He turned smoothness into a profession, showing a generation of politicians that charm could outweigh intellect, that presentation often mattered more than results. Time and again, Rogan and Gutfeld remind the audience how this persona worked. The perfectly timed pauses, the flawless delivery, the carefully staged visuals, even the Spotify playlists, all parts of an image designed to dazzle. As Gutfeld notes, many people confuse eloquence with substance, treating polished speeches and photo ops as evidence of competence. It's like a celebrity chef endlessly talking about their love of food while never cooking anything actually worth tasting. The nation responded with applause, admiration, and a lingering nostalgia, all while the machinery of government kept churning along unchanged. By the end, Rogan and Gutfeld have stripped the Obama brand of its shine. The myth of a visionary leader crumbles, leaving a politician who built his career on charm, elegance, and a long string of broken promises wrapped in poetic delivery. Without stage lights, clever camera angles, or curated social media posts, the reality is stark. The cool factor was the performance, the nation and audience, and politics, a carefully marketed product. This roast goes beyond humor. It exposes the unsettling truth that style and image, rather than concrete achievements, define the man's power.